The movie opens with a desolate ghost town during the American Civil War. In the distance, dust swirls as the sun beats down on the crumbling buildings. A tense silence fills the air as three bounty hunters approach a ramshackle saloon. Inside, Tuco Ramirez, a notorious bandit, lounges in a chair, casually cleaning his revolver. As the bounty hunters move in, the tension mounts. Without warning, Tuco explodes into action, firing rapidly. In a wild shootout, he kills two of the bounty hunters and leaves the third badly wounded, crawling away in agony. Miles away, the camera pans to a different scene, a quiet, dusty farmhouse. Inside, Angel Eyes, a cold and calculating mercenary, sits across from an old man named Stevens. Stevens, a former soldier, nervously shifts in his chair as Angel Eyes, with a calm yet menacing presence, questions him about a man named Jackson. Jackson, Stevens explains, has taken on the alias Bill Carson and has disappeared with a cache of stolen Confederate gold. Angel Eyes listens intently, his eyes narrowing as he processes the information. With a cruel smile, Angel Eyes stands, drawing his revolver. Stevens, desperate, tries to bargain, offering Angel Eyes money to kill his own employer, a man named Baker. Angel Eyes pockets the money without hesitation, and before Stevens can react, Angel Eyes shoots him in cold blood. The sound of the gunshot echoes through the house, and Stevens' son runs into the room, only to be gunned down as well. Angel Eyes stands over the bodies, calm and collected. His work here is done. True to his ruthless nature, Angel Eyes later visits Baker, who had hired him to find Jackson. Baker, unaware of Stevens' betrayal, greets Angel Eyes with a grin, confident that the mercenary will deliver what he wants. Instead, Angel Eyes pulls out his revolver once more and shoots Baker dead, ensuring that no one is left alive to know about the gold. Meanwhile, Tuco continues his flight across the desert, always on the run, always looking over his shoulder. His reputation as a wanted man precedes him, and soon enough, a new group of bounty hunters tracks him down. As they close in on Tuco, a figure appears on the horizon, Blondie, a lone gunman known for his speed and precision. Blondie approaches the bounty hunters calmly, his hand resting on his revolver. In the blink of an eye, Blondie draws, killing the bounty hunters with deadly accuracy. Tuco, initially grateful for the rescue, quickly realizes that Blondie isn't saving him out of kindness. Instead, Blondie turns Tuco into the local authorities, collecting the $2,000 bounty on his head. The next scene shifts to a dusty, grimy town where Tuco is paraded in front of the townsfolk, who jeer and throw insults at him. He's marched to the gallows, the noose tightening around his neck. As the executioner reads his charges, Tuco looks out at the crowd, a knowing smirk on his face. At the last possible moment, just as the executioner prepares to release the trapdoor, a shot rings out. The rope snaps and Tuco drops to the ground alive. The crowd is stunned as Tuco scrambles to his feet and runs off. In a secluded alleyway, Tuco meets Blondie, who is already counting the reward money. It's revealed that the two have been working together in a scam. Blondie turns Tuco in, collects the reward, and then frees him, splitting the profits between them. For a while, their partnership is profitable. They repeat the scam in town after town, with Tuco's bounty rising each time. Eventually, Tuco's head is worth $3,000, but Blondie has grown tired of Tuco's constant complaints and greed. During one of their escapes, Blondie decides to end their partnership. After collecting the latest bounty, Blondie abandons Tuco in the middle of the desert, taking all the money and leaving Tuco to die. Stranded under the relentless sun, with no water and miles from civilization, Tuco curses Blondie's name and begins a torturous journey across the desert. Dehydrated and delirious, Tuco finally stumbles into a town, where he arms himself with a new revolver and sets out for revenge. Sometime later, Tuco tracks down Blondie in another town. This time he's brought backup, 3 hired guns ready to help him kill Blondie. They break into Blondie's hotel room, but Blondie, ever the quick draw, kills all 3 of Tuco's men in a matter of seconds. Just as Blondie is about to make his escape, Tuco climbs through the window behind him, catching Blondie by surprise. With his gun trained on Blondie, Tuco forces him to put a noose around his own neck. As Tuco taunts Blondie, preparing to finally get his revenge, a cannonball from a nearby battle crashes into the hotel, demolishing the room and giving Blondie the opportunity to escape. Determined to get his vengeance, Tuco doesn't give up. He tracks Blondie down once more, this time using the same scam with another partner. However, when they reach the moment where Blondie would typically shoot the rope, Tuco refuses to let him, and the unfortunate partner is hanged for real. Tuco then forces Blondie to march across the desert, taking great pleasure in watching his former partner suffer as he had. Under the scorching sun, Blondie collapses from heat stroke and dehydration. Tuco prepares to kill him, relishing the moment, but just as he raises his gun, something catches his eye: a runaway carriage in the distance. The carriage, filled with dead and dying soldiers, holds a surprise for Tuco. Inside, he finds Bill Carson, the man everyone has been searching for. Carson, near death, reveals that $200,000 in stolen Confederate gold is buried in a cemetery called Sad Hill. Before he can tell Tuco which grave the gold is buried in, Carson loses consciousness. Desperate to learn the final clue, Tuco rushes to get water, but when he returns, Carson is dead. However, Blondie, slumped beside the carriage, reveals that Carson told him the name on the grave before he died. Now Tuco and Blondie each know half of the secret, and neither can claim the gold without the other. With no choice but to work together again, Tuco takes Blondie to a nearby Catholic mission where his brother, Father Pablo, helps nurse Blondie back to health. The reunion between Tuco and his brother is tense. Father Pablo disapproves of Tuco's life as a bandit, and the two exchange bitter words. After recuperating, Blondie and Tuco leave the mission, disguised as Confederate soldiers. Along the way, they are captured by a Union patrol and taken to a prison camp. At the camp, Corporal Wallace calls the roll, and Tuco, always quick on his feet, answers for Bill Carson. This catches the attention of Angel Eyes, now posing as a Union sergeant. Angel Eyes, realizing he's found the key to the gold, has Wallace brutally torture Tuco for information. After enduring a vicious beating, Tuco confesses that the gold is buried in Sad Hill Cemetery, but only Blondie knows the name on the grave. Seeing an opportunity, Angel Eyes offers to replace Tuco in the partnership, and Blondie, knowing he has no other choice, agrees. As Angel Eyes and Blondie set off the Angel Eyes gang, Tuco is put on a train bound for execution. However, Tuco is nothing if not resourceful. He manages to escape, killing Corporal Wallace in the process, and sets out to find Blondie and Angel Eyes. Angel Eyes' gang, along with Blondie, arrives in a bombed-out town that is being evacuated due to heavy artillery fire. Tuco, now wandering through the ruins, unknowingly walks into a trap. The wounded bounty hunter from the start of the film has been tracking him, waiting for his moment. As Tuco takes a bath in an abandoned building, the bounty hunter bursts in, gloating about how he's finally caught Tuco. Without hesitating, Tuco pulls a gun from under the bathwater and shoots him dead. Blondie, hearing the gunshot, finds Tuco and informs him of Angel Eyes' plan. The two decide to work together once more to take down Angel Eyes and recover the gold. In a tense sequence, Tuco and Blondie stalk through the wrecked town, systematically taking out Angel Eyes' men. However, when they finally catch up to Angel Eyes, he has already escaped, leaving behind only an insulting note. Undeterred, Tuco and Blondie continue their journey to Sad Hill Cemetery, but their path is blocked by a fierce battle between Union and Confederate forces over a narrow bridge. Realizing that the soldiers will never leave the area as long as the bridge stands, Blondie and Tuco concoct a plan to destroy it. Under cover of night, they wire the bridge with dynamite. As they prepare to detonate it, the two finally trade the information they've been keeping from each other. Tuco reveals that the gold is buried in Sad Hill Cemetery, and Blondie reveals the name on the grave, Arch Stanton. At dawn, they blow the bridge, and as expected, the soldiers abandon the area to fight elsewhere. Tuco and Blondie continue their journey to Sad Hill Cemetery. Once they arrive, Tuco runs frantically through the vast graveyard, searching for the grave marked Arch Stanton. He finally finds it, but as he starts to dig, Blondie arrives, gun in hand. Their fragile partnership has finally broken down. Before Tuco can finish, Angel Eyes reappears, having followed them to the cemetery. He confronts them, knowing they all seek the gold, setting the stage for a three-way standoff. The three men stand in a triangle, hands hovering over their guns. Tension builds as each man eyes the others, calculating his move. The air is thick with anticipation. Finally, the standoff erupts in a flurry of gunfire. Blondie, as always, proves the fastest, killing Angel Eyes instantly. Tuco draws his gun, but realizes too late that Blondie has unloaded it earlier, leaving him helpless. Blondie forces Tuco to dig up the gold, revealing 2 bags filled with coins. Tuco, believing he'll finally share in the wealth, is caught off guard when Blondie ties a noose around his neck, balancing him precariously on a grave's wooden cross. With the bags of gold, Blondie rides away, leaving Tuco to struggle for his life. As Tuco screams and curses at Blondie, expecting the worst, Blondie turns around one last time. He takes aim and shoots the rope, saving Tuco's life yet again. Tuco is left in the graveyard, cursing Blondie's name, while Blondie rides off into the horizon with his share of the gold. And the movie concludes here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for more.